Hi, welcome to Cooking Single. I'm Tim Curry and I'm going to be with you for this afternoon, and I'm going to try to teach you some interesting things that you may want to make if you're ever in the mood to do some cooking for, be it your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you have some company coming over. What I wanted to do today was mix a little bit of nouveau southwestern style food with a little more of a traditional dinner, something you might get out if you're eating in a restaurant, but something you may not feel so gutsy about trying at home. We're going to make some southwestern pizza, a little variation on the original pizza ingredients that you might be accustomed to. And we're going to move into a first course, which is a nice pasta salad made with penne pasta. And for our main entree, I'm going to make a chicken Florentine dish, something I learned a long time ago when I was first getting started in the cooking business. I was working at a restaurant in mid-New York State in Westchester, and this is one of the things we made about 5,000 of a night. But it's an excellent dish, and I'm going to teach you how to make that tonight. We're going to have a really nice dessert. It's simple, made with vanilla ice cream, some sugar cookies, and we'll get into that a little later. That recipe I bring up from South Carolina when I was down there for a little while. So let's get to work. I have some stuff on the stove that's going here. I just want to turn some water down for our next course. And we'll get started now. What we have here is your Baboli pizza shells. You can get these at any supermarket, or you can get it at just about anywhere around town. They come in two different sizes. I like the smaller ones because I wanted to make two different types of pizzas for you today. You can get the big one if you like and maybe put stuff on half of it, but the smaller ones are, I don't know, a little neater. So first thing we need to do is have these defrosted. If they're a little hard, let them warm up to room temperature so they're a little spongy. And normally you would put down your pizza sauce first, but this is Southwestern pizza, and what I'm going to use is barbecue sauce, believe it or not. Okay, we have our barbecue sauce here, and you can get anything you like. I'm a fan of Open Pit. It's a variety that I think is not too spicy, but has a nice smoky taste to it. And what you want to do is smear it around so you have a nice even coating around. If you're a big sauce fan, you may want to use a little bit more. It's entirely up to you. I figure it's about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons per little pie of barbecue sauce, but once again, use whatever you like. There's no rules in cooking that you can't improvise on your own. So we'll move this around a little bit, move it around, make sure we have some area covered here. And one thing that I've learned about cooking is sometimes you need to keep an eye on too many things at one time. So I'm going to bring this water down to a slower boil, if you'll bear with me a second. Okay, so we have our pizza shells with the sauce. Of course, the next thing is this cheese. What I have done here is I have cheddar cheese and Monterey Jack. Traditionally, Monterey Jack's used in a lot of Southwestern cooking. I like the color variation, and I had this grated up ahead of time. If you like, you can use any kind of cheeses you want, and it doesn't have to be 2 different kinds. But go with this, and if you're shopping for this meal alone, you can even buy like an assorted grated pack of the 2 of them mixed together. You want to take enough cheese to cover each pizza, just enough so that it doesn't drip down the edges, but that it's nice and cheesy. One of the problems I ever have when I go out to restaurants or order pizza is that they never put enough cheese on it. So you always wind up ordering extra cheese, and you pay a little bit extra, which is the nice thing about cooking here at your home, is that you can put a lot of what you like onto the food and not what somebody else likes. Okay, I'm going to put a little onions on one of these. Chop the onions medium dice. You don't want to make them too small, otherwise they'll dissolve into the food, but if they're too big, you might have some pretty serious onion breath later on. For this other pizza, I was going to try a little salsa. Again, jarred salsa. I didn't have time to make salsa today. I was running short on time, but I had some salsa in the fridge. It's Southwestern pizza, so why not? What's going to happen, We'll put a little bit of salsa on top. This is a medium hot. If you like your food spicy, you could put a dash of Tabasco sauce or a little grated red pepper on there. Anything you want. And this pizza is ready to go in the oven. Speaking of ovens, I've set my oven at about 375, 400. If your oven fluctuates between 25 degrees, like a lot of people do, play with it and see which works well for you. You don't want to burn the pizza crust in a hot oven, but at the same time you don't want to have it too low where it'll get soggy and then kind of fall apart on you. These shells work well though under a lot of different temperatures. I'm going to add a little fresh pepper to this other pie of mine, and I have a little green pepper here. And what you want to do is avoid the seeds, but I'll put that aside for now. And if you're looking in the pepper, there's a lot of this white substance. I don't know the technical term, I'm not a botanist, but I always cut it out because it doesn't taste good. And it doesn't look good either. One of those little things, you'll learn as you go. So you only need a little bit of pepper, and we'll do a thin slice like this. And we'll dice this up pretty much like the onions. Nice thin dices. There we go. And we'll sprinkle this on top. Get back here, you. Alright, put a little pepper. And for a little bit of color, I got a little red pepper. And just cut a thin side off there so I don't have to trim away that white part that's on the red peppers too. And we'll dice this up nice and thin. And get some slices here. And I think that's about it. I'm not going to go too heavy on this other pizza. You can put anything you like. If you like sardines, put them on the pizza. If you like pickles, I don't care. Put it on there. There's no rules that this works or that works. One might taste better than the other, but that's entirely up to you. Oven's at about 400, and I'm going to cook this right on the rack. If you have a baking stone, which a lot of people do these days to bake bread, that's the best thing you can use. I don't have one right now. I'm going to cook it right on the rack, and I'm going to leave it in the oven for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to check it maybe a little sooner since I'm not too familiar with this oven. And I'm going to clean my work area a little bit, which is basically to shovel it in the trash scene. Okay, these peppers are delicious. A lot of people see red and they think hot. Not true. We've got hybrid peppers nowadays that are so sweet that they taste like fruit. Actually, I think a pepper is a fruit. I got a red pepper and a yellow pepper. You can get them different colors, different times of the year. The green ones are always in season. But if you like color, you can do a lot with peppers. They really lighten up a dish. I also wanted to touch base with you guys about beverages. A lot of people say, well, I don't know what to serve with this, I don't know what to serve with that. My philosophy about cooking stems over into drinking. If you like white wine, and you want to drink white wine with a steak, then please drink the white wine. You don't have to drink red wine with steak and white wine with fish. It's a farce. Drink what you like, and that's what's important. I think with the first course, I'm going to be offering some beer. I'm a beer fan. I like all the microbrew things that are going on nowadays. But when I think of Southwestern, I think of my favorite beer. And tonight we'll be drinking Corona from Mexico. A lot of people say that Corona is the Miller of Mexico, that it's really not that great of a beer. Again, it all goes back to what you like. I like it with a nice lime in it, and I think it's good, especially this time of the year when it's warming up and you want to get outside and you start thinking of patios and being out and about. So we're going to have Corona with our first course, and I'm going to keep this cold till I'm ready for it. Okay, while our pizza's cooking, I'm going to move into our actual first sit-down course, which we'll call the official appetizer, however you want to work it. Let me check my notes here, make sure I get everything right for you, for those of you that are taking notes. We're going to make a penne pasta salad. It's a chilled pasta salad. It's got fresh herbs, it's got capers, it's got onions, and it's pretty nice. I had it just not too long ago at the Swiss Hotel, downtown Boston where I work, and I actually picked up this recipe from some of our chefs there. I'd like to thank you guys for this. What we have going in the back, I've got some water on a medium boil, and I'm going to add a little olive oil to the water for a little flavor. I also threw in a dash of salt. The oil and the salt will help the pasta from sticking together, but I don't go too heavy on each because it's almost a waste. This is olive oil that I infused with garlic and some fresh rosemary. There's basil and there's some pepper in here. Give it a little bit of a taste that's unique to itself. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the boiling water. And I portioned off enough pasta for about 3 meals. The third meal is for my lunch tomorrow, so I always like to cook a little bit extra. That way you know you have some leftovers and you don't have to worry about tomorrow's meal. So we're going to put this in because of that pasta, and that's going to take a minute or two to get working. And then we'll move on to the rest of the ingredients for this dish. Okay. You're going to need a bowl to mix the pasta in, and I have a bowl. It might be a little too small. Let me see if I got another one. Here's one that'll work better. And the ingredients are as follows. We're going to need some onions in here. Again, the amount of onions we use is appropriate to what you like. I'm going to put about